You see all the leeway in the rope you get as a 9? Except her scenario never will exist. We're negotiating price here, that's all it is. The price is higher than a condo and a Porsche. Are you kidding me?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here,
Which guy would women choose?
I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're playing a little game with a group of girls called Would You Rather. So what I do, I give them guy number 1 and guy number 2, and each guy comes with some baggage or some things going on, and they have to choose which guy that they would rather date. So no more to say, let's get into it and see which guy the girls pick. So the first one here is guy number 1 who is 6'2" and doesn't work out or take care of himself at all, or guy number 2 who is 5'5" and is in great shape.
Oh, geez. That is tough. It's not easy to change people and their habits. I think a lot of women also typically look for that like 6 foot tall guy. For me, I'm about 6 foot myself. So 5'5" is really pushing it for me. But I think I'd rather have someone with better habits. So 5'5".
Okay.
And takes care of themselves.
I would choose guy number 2.
Okay, and how tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay, so he's still taller than you.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna go guy number 2.
And number
So it was, well, a guy who is 5'5" and is in great shape, show a short king, and 6'2" doesn't work out or take care of himself. Okay.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'7", almost 5'8".
Okay, so he's shorter than you.
Yeah.
But you still would prioritize a guy who
A
is
Pagani
healthy, takes
BC.
care of himself, is in good shape, versus the tall guy who does not work out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right?
You're gonna hate this answer. They're not even big for me. Height's not big for me, and also like I go through fit phases and then I go through unfit phases. So a guy who's like 2 on top of his fitness is low-key intimidating to me.
Okay.
Stop lying.
I like how you're explaining it, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
You
know if I
had to
have,
choose.
if I had to choose.
Diabetes.
I'm picking height and fitness, right? Because one's really fit and one's tall.
Yes.
If I'm choosing between height and fitness, I think I would choose. I think I'd
Diabetes.
choose height, which is weird because I'm really not a height person.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay, so I guess the 5'5" would still be taller than you.
5'5" still
She'll choose a 6'2" diabetic king.
taller than me. That's why I'm kind of like. That's why it's normally not a big difference because they're both taller than me.
That is a tough one. I mean, they're both, I get it, because it's hard to work out. I don't work out, so I feel like I can't be like, he's gotta be in shape. But also, it's important to take care of yourself in like other ways too, besides working out. That doesn't necessarily mean, I go to the gym every day. That could be, I eat good, or I try, probably 5'5", the 5'5" and the guy who takes care of himself, I think. And that would motivate me too a little bit to
Get your act together.
to also like, hey, go to the gym with me. I'm like, oh, cool, I got a gym buddy now, because I don't do that. So yeah, I think I would go with that guy.
Okay, and how tall are you?
I am 5'2.5".
Okay, so he's still taller than you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I guess at the point in my life, I would pick someone who had to be aligned with my goals, so I would go with the 5'5" guy who's in shape.
Okay, and how tall are you again?
5 foot on a good day.
Okay, so he's still much taller than you.
Oh yeah, pretty much everybody's taller than I am, so that's
Perfect.
really not an issue.
The guy that is 5'5" and
5'5"?
takes care of himself.
Okay,
Good
so
shape.
you prioritize a guy taking care of himself, being in shape,
Yes.
versus how tall he is.
Yeah, I mean, I do, only because I like to take care of myself. So, like, I need somebody that's motivated as well.
Okay, on your wavelength there. Next one is guy number 1 who is an 8 and is divorced with 2 kids, or guy number 2 who is a 5 and has never been in a relationship.
Oh, number
I'm gonna
one.
go guy number 1.
Come on.
I don't.
Dude, they are not giving a virgin a chance. You're a loser. You can't hit it right. You got no pipe game. You're probably awkward. Obviously, pre-selection is right there in front of her. No woman's ever chose you. If you never got chosen once, why should she? If you got no hoes, you're useless. She's got to see that women want you. It's competition. Come on, man. 5 and never been in a relationship. Women don't care about virginity. The
Who is an 8 and is divorced with 2 kids, or guy number 2 who is a
No
5
hoes.
and has never been in a relationship.
I'm gonna go guy number 1. I try not to judge people for their past. I think everyone kind of goes through their own stuff, and I don't think a divorce makes you a bad person. So guy number 1.
You're all right with being a stepmom? All right.
There's nothing wrong with having kids, and nothing wrong with like having a history. I, however, don't even know if I want to have kids. I think I do, but I don't know that for sure. And if I was getting in a relationship with someone, I would have to treat a man with kids much more seriously than I would treat a man who doesn't have kids. And so you'd have to be, what is he, an 8? He's an 8? Yeah. And what's the other one? An 8's pretty good. I probably would, if he's a 5 and he doesn't have kids and that's the only benefit of him, I'm probably not going to go for him. So I'd probably actually go for the 8, but I would take it real slow.
I would choose guy number 1 who's divorced with 2 kids.
Okay.
Yep. Duh. Duh. I'll play mommy to him. He's an 8. He's got washboard abs. He's got deep pockets. He's got everything I'd want in a man. 2 kids. I'll play mommy. Yes. King. Yes. I'll be in the kitchen cooking for it. Yes. Pipe me up.
Ooh, those are good.
Stop playing.
Stop the cap.
Okay, so in my head,
pick one. Stop it.
I love children,
There it is.
but
Come on.
I am not ready to be a mom. At this point in my life, I am not
Stop
ready to be
playing.
a mom. Or a motherly figure to anybody.
Huh?
Oh, but he's never been in a relationship though, so he's like new too.
Mm-hmm.
So he like doesn't know. Oh,
Yeah, doesn't
these
know
are
how
good
to hit
questions. Sorry.
Come on. 1.
I think.
1.
I think I would.
1.
Honestly, I think I would go with the guy who does have 2 kids. I actually really do. Even though I personally am not ready, I think I don't want to have the responsibility of almost like teaching somebody what it's like to be in a relationship.
Got it.
And I guess that sounds kind of mean. It's not. I've never been in a relationship. No judgment. I feel like I would have to take on, and that's me making an assumption, but I would have to take on more of a, like we have to do this. You have to be a certain way or act a certain way.
Yeah, I guess
You see what I mean? She had to think about it so much. There's nothing wrong with guy number 2. He's just never been in a relationship. He's just an average man. She'd rather deal with 2 kids that aren't her own, that she already says she doesn't want to deal with kids at all. I am not in any point anywhere near in my life right now where I want to be a mom to nobody. All right, I'll pick the guy with 2 kids. F it. That other dude's a virgin loser. F that.
they're both kind of scary in different ways because
They
it's like
are.
the kids is like, okay, that's a whole big responsibility that comes along with it.
Right.
In a different way than the relationship thing.
Yeah, and I also think like
Bro, once that guy pipes it up because he's an 8 Chad, she'll be putting on an apron real quick, cooking in the kitchen, playing mommy.
I do want to be a mom with kids one day. That is absolutely one of my biggest goals. But I just, right now in my life, it would just be really hard for me to get over that barrier, I guess, of like, oh crap, like I would be almost a motherly figure in a way. And that does scare me a little bit. But I think just given the 2, I think I would go with the guy who has 2 kids. I think I would, yeah.
Ooh, okay. I think 8 and has 2 kids. While I'd want my own kids, I think I could be a stepmom. But for me, the real big differentiator has never been in a relationship before.
I'm gonna go with the 8 and the 2 kids.
Okay, what's your reasoning there?
Why have you not been in a relationship?
There it goes.
Okay, so you're concerned.
The guy,
Weird.
yeah.
Okay.
Why has he not been in a relationship?
That's tough. I would probably go with guy number 2.
So would you not want to be with a guy who had already been in a marriage and had to, like, are you not feeling the stepmom thing right now?
I'm not against it. I mean, I'm at a point in life where you have to accept that people are going to have kids and that comes with the package. But if I had the option, I would probably go with the 5.
Next one is guy number 1 who makes $150,000 and he's a plumber. Or
Lawyer.
guy number 2 who makes
Lawyer, that $30K differential isn't enough to overcome the prestige of my man's a lawyer.
$120,000 and he's a lawyer.
Come on.
I would probably choose guy number 2, who's the lawyer, because for my education, I would have more in common conversationally with that
You
individual.
see? Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Reputation is more important than reality to them. The reality of a man that earns $30,000 more, that's a vacation in 1 year. That's a very nice vacation. 30 racks does not matter. You don't have lawyer. You don't have prestige. She can't go, yes, my man's a lawyer, and make all the other women at the table jealous. Or sorry, my man is a plumber. She can't say plumber with pride in front of her girlfriends because they're going to look at her like, oh, what a loser. You date a guy that was a plumber? Blue collar? Never been to college? And that dude is making 150. But she could have a dusty lawyer from the worst school ever that makes 40 a year struggling to hang up his own shingle. That's still better. That still shows potential. Yeah, but maybe one day he could make millions of dollars. That's just how their brain works.
Got it. Okay. So more like alike than you would be maybe with the plumber.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, weird answer for me again. $150,000 in plumber. I really, really have a passion for doing home projects.
Okay, see, she's just different than home project lady. Okay, Jacobs, I'm a CO in a women's prison. I listen to this word salad womanese nonsense all day. The exhaustion I feel at the end of the shift is hard to describe.
And plumbing is my weak point.
All right, so
having
the
someone
missing
to fill
puzzle
the gap.
piece. All right.
Yes, that would be good.
It's great to have a handyman.
The money's not that different.
There it is.
So it's literally
See?
lawyer or plumber. See, to me, if you're a plumber, you're down to earth. You can fix all my shit. That's nice. If you're a lawyer, you're going to win in the arguments that we have. Do I want to deal with that? I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Stupid points when one makes literal 30 grand more. You're going to worry about who argues better and I do my own shit.
This is funny because this is getting at like how much I want to be like a similar intelligence to who I'm dating. And I feel like if I'm dating a lawyer, I'm constantly going to convince myself that I'm not smart enough for this lawyer. But plumber, I'm just like, we're come from the same people. Yeah, we're chilling. There's a lot of auto workers in my family. So I would say I'm leaning plumber.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to wait around for someone to come fix your stuff. That's
I
nice.
wouldn't. He could fix everything. I'm so not interested in... I always think I'm interested in solving those problems on my own, and I'm not. I want someone else to do them.
Not a Home Depot girly.
No, I would love to be. I'm really not.
The lawyer.
Okay, what's your reasoning there?
The income.
Well, he's making
What?
less than the plumber.
But he has more stable income, I guess. I don't know. I just...
What?
Wait.
No, moron. It's the prestige. A plumber has work all year round. If he owns his own business, he's going to make far more than 150. That's probably him. That's probably what he makes working just for himself. Oh my God, bro.
Wait, what is he making again?
120.
120.
And then the plumber's making 150. But is it the...
It's
just
like
the title?
The title, I guess. Like
Okay.
his job, he probably has more of an exciting career. More to come home and talk about.
Oh, they both sound fine. That's great. Okay, so with the plumber it would be nice because they're very like handsy, you know, like they could like fix stuff around the house. A lawyer's also nice, very admirable profession, absolutely. But for me, I feel like with a lawyer you would just you couldn't win an argument. Like you would just like he would just be really good. He would just be really good at arguing with you. And I don't know if I can handle that. I think I would just get too... Oof, yeah. I think that, yeah. The plumber.
The plumber?
I like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I would go with the plumber for sure.
Okay. Is there a reason why you picked that one?
No thought. No
I
brains.
have been with people who have been in those types of jobs, and I've just found that men who work hard in that way are usually more my type, and they're a lot more handy around the house. So, you know, if there's an issue, they'll fix your toilet.
There you go. Nice blue collar man. Can't go
That's
wrong.
right.
That's a good question. Probably lawyer, only because I feel like that's like a career field that I could maybe
There you
relate
go.
more to. And so
There you go. Being a plumber and owning your own business is not a career. It's just a job. What do they think everybody's a named partner or some shit here with their own corner office at the top floor? What is happening? Like the average lawyer's job is not that attractive, let me tell you. As somebody who was looking into that potentially as a career path.
I feel like we might have more in common.
Okay. So you're assuming things about his personality and his traits.
Dude, I mean, the answers speak for themselves. When they're comparing a plumber, they're thinking of some guy's ass crack in jeans and then them getting into an argument with a lawyer and losing because he's a lawyer. Well, I can't be right all the time. So what do I want? Do I want to be right all the time or ass crack? Dev code, thanks. Love how these chicks are struggling with the lawyer because they might not be able to argue with him. Question, why would you be arguing in the first place? Exactly. This is all movie shit. Yeah, it's based on movie tropes. A lawyer making $100K with $200K in student loans debt. My God, America.
It's based off of the job title, right?
Right.
Okay. What if he had debt? Would that change things?
I think it depends on, how much and why. If it's debt from law school, I think.
Again, if we're going to look at this, devil's advocate, what's the upside for a lawyer? What's the upside for a plumber? What, come on. A plumber, you're probably owning your own business at $150K. Think about it. Or you could at least start your own business. Then you can have a bunch of employees under you. Then you can make millions of dollars owning your own plumbing business. It is very possible. You don't need a ton of employees. You just need a few others under you. And you can make a ton of money. Scales very well for a small business. The lawyer, on the other hand, you're not really going to be doing all that well until you go to a really high-end firm that's known, potentially regionally or internationally on that level. Nationally, right? Think about it. For the lawyers that come out of school doing what, $160K a year, you had to go to the top law school in the nation and probably be doing something like corporate mergers to be making $160K. And then we're not going to talk about the day-to-day living with a lawyer that's probably working 100-hour weeks over the weekend, every single week. Doesn't have time for his family. Most lawyers end up divorced and spending all their money on blowing hookers. I mean, that's the truth. I've seen it myself in LA. Dude, Hollywood is full of them. Dysfunctional families everywhere. That kind of guy chases them to get to the top percentile in law school, to be a lawyer in the top percentile firms. You have to throw your family away to the wayside. There's no work-life balance there. It's absolutely brutal.
I think everyone has some, college debt that they have to work through. If it's credit card debt because he's a shopaholic, yeah, that might change things.
Okay. Next one is guy number 1, who is a 4 and has a Porsche.
Has a Porsche and a condo in Miami, or guy who is a 2 is a 9 and lives at home with his parents. Dude, come on, man.
And a condo in Miami. Or guy number 2, who is a 9 and lives at home with his parents.
The 4. The guy with his shit together.
Okay,
so why are we, I need to know why. Like, why are we living with our mom still? Are we saving up to buy a house? Like, how old are we? I guess that one's a tough one, just because, I need to know more.
So does it matter how old he is? Like, how old are you?
I'm going to be 30 this year.
30. Okay, so if a guy's 30.
So she's hyper aware of needing resources from a man at 30. Yeah, she's going to pick the guy with a Porsche and a condo in Miami. And then the pool boy will be the number 9 that lives at home with his parents, still smashing it. Win-win, baby.
And he's a 9, but he lives at home with his parents. Like, what is the age where it starts to be a little not great for you?
Like, we're getting 35. Like, why are we still living with our parents?
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's hard because I could go either way with those depending on who the person is. I don't really care what kind of car a guy drives. It's more so how you treat somebody and how you respect somebody that's important to me.
Shut up.
Between the two things, I'd probably choose the guy that lives at home, because if he's living at home, he's either taking care of his parents and being a...
Wow, she just instantly went with 9 at home, parents, 9 does what? Has no job, 9 parents, home, no car, but 9, but genetic. She's probably on the younger side of this panel.
A primary caregiver for somebody that's, ill or a
9.
little older, or he's furthering his education or starting his career.
9. You see all the leeway and the rope you get as a 9? Benefit of the doubt, baby. Oh, he must be taking care of his parents because he's a 9. He's really hot, so he must be doing something good. But if you were a 4 living with your parents, you're a loser, failure to launch. What's wrong with you, creep? It's what it is, man. That's real.
I don't really care about how established somebody is. It's about how you get there and how you treat other
9.
people along the way.
Okay, perfect. Would it change if he was a specific age and still living at home? Like, is that a...
She hasn't even met the man. She's making excuses for him. That is correct, because he's a 9. In her head, she's already thought of her 9 man and goes, yeah, there's no way he's a loser. He's clearly doing something benevolent, taking care of parents and stuff.
Factor at all?
It is, because past a certain age in your 30s and you still haven't established yourself and moved out, it kind of shows signs of immaturity, in my opinion. So I probably wouldn't go for somebody like that.
That's a tough one because you don't know their personalities. But I'm probably going to go with guy number 1, and not because what he has, but it sounds like he is more driven and more motivated to kind of be up on his own 2 feet and be successful.
Okay, so the 9 that lives at home, you're assuming maybe he doesn't have great drive.
You're noticing a trend here. Either you're damn near physically perfect specimen, a 9, 10, or you have a ton of money, okay? Those are your great equalizers. If you're not a physical specimen, you equalize it with a ton of money and success.
Maybe he is not really motivated or doing well in his job because he's living at home with his parents. Do you assume those things when you hear that?
It's a big assumption, but I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
9 lives at home with his parents. I have my own house, so if things work out, he can move in with me.
All right. Is there an age cutoff for you where living with the parents would be a deal breaker or something that you would maybe look at in a different way?
He's willing to play mommy to a grown-ass man. He's a 9.
I think that in general, people tend to move in with parents for different reasons. I think there's kind of that stereotype around it with the 30-year-old video gamer who lives in the parents' basement, which is absolutely fine for some people, maybe not for me, but things happen in life, and I can see people moving in with their parents again over time. So for me, a cutoff for that, in general, maybe like 35-ish, but it's always...
But it only matters if you're a 9. See, you get this benefit of the doubt that life happens, shit's rough out here. I get it, you gotta move back, you gotta save some money. But he's a 9. But if he was a 2, he is that nerd who sits at home, plays video games with a pimply face.
Also situational.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. At home with his parents. Sorry, I'm moving a lot. A Porsche. He's a 4?
Mm-hmm.
A Porsche and a condo in Miami isn't going to help you if you're already a 4.
Right.
And the other guy's a 9, and he lives with his parents? Mm-hmm. If he's a 9, I'm assuming he has a great relationship with his parents, which is attractive to me, as long as he's not, like, dependent on his parents. Although if he was dependent on his parents, he's not a 9. He's, like, lower.
Okay, so it changes depending on why he's living at home.
Yes, if he's living at home and he does the dishes sometimes and he like treats his family to dinner other times, that's like great. Like it's like, wow, you can like be around your family for long periods of time and like you guys get along really great. That's like not common, I feel like, especially in young adults who are like figuring themselves out. But also I'm very independent, so I don't know if I would understand someone like that. But a 4 and a Porsche in Miami, like that's not doing much for me.
Yeah, so again, the value in her head is Porsche and condo is not good enough. Ferrari and mansion with a yacht, that answer changes real quick. We're negotiating price here, that's all it is. Her price is higher than a condo and a Porsche.
Me, so I'm gonna go for the 9 living with his parents.
Ooh, this is like a failure to launch situation. I mean, probably, let's be honest, I'm gonna go with Matthew McConaughey every time in that one.
But I mean, living at home with your parents isn't, because I lived with my parents, so like no judgments there. Times are tough, I get
Told you, rules are different when you're Brad Pitt living at home with your parents.
that. I guess it would depend. It would depend on why he's living with his parents. You know, if it's like, if you're just like bumming with your parents, I don't care how good you look. Yeah. No. But if you're there and you're like, oh, transition period, you know, I need to work on myself, or like I'm looking for a job, I'm in between, that is totally like, you know, that's totally acceptable. So if it was for a valid reason, I would go with the guy living with his parents. But if like the guy who was living with his parents was very much like not doing anything to like better himself or to kind of get back out there, I would probably go with the guy who has a Porsche in a condo in Miami, which does sound nice. I know that makes me sound shallow, but like it sounds nice, but I don't know. I'm not gonna judge a guy right away for living with their parents.
Guy number 1 who makes $55,000 and is loyal, or guy number 2 who makes over $500,000 a year and provides a comfortable lifestyle, but would like an arrangement with you where he can sleep with other women every once in a while.
Guy number 1.
Guy number 1, all right. Loyalty's important.
It is.
Ooh, okay, that's hard as well. I think I would rather go for someone loyal.
Provides a comfortable...
Guy who makes over $500,000 but would like an open, basically, relationship versus a guy who makes $55K and is loyal. See, she should have added another layer of difficulty and say guy number 1 is like a 6, but guy number 2 is an 8. Because she'll pick the man 55K, but in her head but he's hot. 55K and hot, because I wouldn't settle with a guy who isn't hot. So if my man's hot and 55K and wants to be loyal, of course she's going to pick that guy. But if her option in reality would be a man that's 55K salary and less attractive than the option who says I want an open relationship, you know what the answer would be.
Would like an arrangement with you where he can sleep with other women every once in a while.
Guy number 1.
Guy number 1, all right. Loyalty's important.
It is.
Ooh, okay, that's hard as well. I think I would rather go for someone loyal. I think there's nothing wrong with people who are in open relationships. I think some people are truly meant for that. I am not one of them.
Okay. So you would choose the loyalty guy making less money over the $500,000 a year who would like to step out in the relationship every once in a while.
Unless we were absolutely like head over heels about each other, and that seemed to be like something that came naturally to us.
I need somebody that's loyal. It's very important to me.
So you're choosing guy number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Yeah, look, again, we need the difficulty scale for looks to be implemented there. It's not. That would have been a good one. Unfortunately, she didn't have that.
Nope. Go with guy number 1. Loyalty trumps money every time.
Nope. 1. Yep. Nope. I don't care. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Absolutely not. Can we talk about STDs for a second? That's disgusting. I don't care about money. Somebody's respect and somebody's loyalty to me are the most important factors when deciding if I'm going to spend my life or my time with somebody. Perfect. There is no other people involved. I wouldn't do it to them. I would expect the same respect.
Every once in a while? Mm-hmm. And I can sleep with other men?
We don't know that.
If that's part of our arrangement, honestly, I'm very open to that.
Okay.
I'm not closed off to that at all.
Okay, you're the first girl who has said that, so I would love to pick your brain a little bit there.
Absolutely happy to.
So the loyalty thing is not necessarily like 100% deal breaker for you.
No, not at all. Because loyalty to me means we're communicating. It doesn't mean we're exclusive.
Let me translate that for you. Loyalty to me means I have access to your resources exclusively, and no other women are a threat to my position as head in this relationship. As long as you're not dumb enough to fall in love with another woman you're messing with, and I get to retain all these benefits, you can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. As long as I keep my possessions, your income, my position as the queen, etc., the owner of all these estates.
So okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If he was making $500,000, has the arrangement with you where he can sleep with other women every once in a while, if he's communicating that to you, you view it differently than if he was cheating on you and hiding it from you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, because if the guy is running around behind her back, doing all this shit, not telling her about an open relationship, all that, to her, it's a threat to the relationship, because if he's hiding it, maybe he may be falling for another one. Maybe he's emotionally invested. You can do anything you want besides get emotionally invested in another woman. That's really what it is. If you're offering the over $500,000 a year, whatever lifestyle, right, the dream lifestyle, as long as you tell her, yeah, me and the boys went out to Vegas, whatever, smashed a bunch of hoes, don't know their name, whatever, had fun, gambled, came back, did whatever, dude. Me and the boys went on a business trip over to Europe, did this, that doesn't matter. As long as she knows that emotionally you're unavailable to everybody else, it's all good. She gets to keep her position. Just don't threaten her position. And what way to make her insecure and give her anxiety is by not telling her that, hey, I've been with this girl, did that, don't remember what their names were, it was just for fun, whatever, etc. Some women are built that way. Not all of them, but you'd be surprised at how many.
In my head, I think I could, because I'm 25, I'm single, it's not planning on settling down anytime soon. I don't even know if I want to settle down with one person forever, personally. So that kind of take the money out of it, because money really is never going to influence my decision. But if he's open like that, we probably have more in common than the guy who's focused on loyalty, honestly.
Interesting. Okay, so you're choosing guy number 2.
I'm choosing guy number 2.
Got it. Okay, and there's little nuances there that make it to where you would choose that, which is interesting.
Yeah, communication is absolutely huge, because if we're both agreeing, there have been times where it's I don't know, people get attracted to other people that they're not in relationships with all the time, but are you going to act on it? Are you going to disrespect your partner in that way? Or are you going to have a conversation about it with your partner and work through it together?
Make sure you're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Guy number 1 who...
Except her scenario never will exist. You're not going to get a guy that makes over $500,000 a year and he's going to be okay with you stepping out of the relationship, right? You get those benefits. He's trying to secure his kids and his family with one woman. Maybe having fun on the side. The dude's earning $500,000 and up. He told you wanted open relationship. It doesn't swing both ways. For that kind of guy that's most likely type A, likes control, etc. All right, let's see. Guy 1, 5'5", makes $95K a year. Guy 2 is 6'1" and he makes 45. Easy peasy, boys. Short kings, you're taking this L.
5,000 a year. Or guy number 2 who is 6'1" and makes 45,000.
These are tough.
not
Again, I have to make a lot of assumptions.
You could even say guy 2 was 6'1", 6'2", only making 20K a year. And they'll still come up with like, well, why is he only making 20K? Is he taking time off of work to like find himself?
Assumptions here, and I'm only judging based off income. I'm gonna go guy number 2 on this one because I can also provide on my end. So just
to
because
shore
he
up
makes,
finances
$45,000 a year
6'2"
doesn't
king.
mean we would be, struggling.
Okay, so in this case, you'd rather have the 2.
In this case,
Is it because of the 45 versus 95? Like, does 95 still not seem like enough to you where you would be like, okay, I choose that guy?
not that it's not enough, but I think
5'5".
in the first scenario where I picked the shorter one, if I remember correctly, it was because he also took care of himself. This one, it's solely based off height and money. And, I'm making an assumption here that the guy who's taller and makes 45 hopefully takes care of himself. And that's why I make my decision, because I know that I can provide too. It's not just, the 95,000, the money that I'm thinking of rather is what I'm trying to say.
5'5" and 6'1". Those are same bracket to me. Like, those guys don't have any distinguishable differences for me to be attracted to one versus the other.
Okay.
Are you Okay.
So then would you pick the one making more money then?
No, probably not. Probably not. What?
A Pagani BC.
I don't have the shit. Nope. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There is no distinguishable difference between a 5'5" man and a 6'1". Which one do you pick? 6'1".
What is it? What is the height?
The 5'5" guy makes 95K.
5'5" makes 90.
Yep. And 6'1" guy makes 45.
She didn't even hear the money. She just heard 5'5" and 6'1".
So the short guy makes more money, tall guy
Yeah.
makes less.
Tall guy.
That's not like a significant amount. I mean, it is
There it
significant
is.
to me because I only make like 50. But I don't know if I could pick. I would need so many more factors to pick between these two guys. Height doesn't do it for. Again, I'm 5'3". Like, they're both still taller than me.
Yeah.
One's making the same amount that I am. We'd probably have more in common. One's making a little more. That's where I'm trying to be one day. So I'm
Type
sure
2
we get
adult
it. I
onset
don't know if I could pick.
diabetes.
Like, my first instinct, I'm I'm like triggered by money more than I'm triggered by height. So like, I'd probably rather pick the guy who makes my level of income because I wouldn't be intimidated by him. But if I'm dating a guy making more than me, I'm going to be a little intimidated by it.
Okay, interesting.
Not a significant amount. Again, not a significant amount, but enough
Right.
that I'd probably feel more comfortable with the guy who makes, what, 45?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so guy 2. All right.
Too.
A lot of
Probably
talking,
guy
bro.
who's 6'1".
Okay, why is that?
Because I like tall guys. I'm more attracted to that. Because, I'm short, but also it's more of like a manly thing too. Not saying that short guys aren't manly, but
That's like literally exactly what she said. She wants a tall man that can wrap his arms around her, make her feel small and safe and protected.
Stop the cap.
it's more like they're like more protecting, like they're
there it is.
bigger, like
Oh.
I don't know. That's just what I'm attracted to.
So
Yeah.
it feels more masculine to
Yes,
you. And does it make you feel more feminine when you're much smaller?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. I don't want to be taller than somebody.
And naturally submits to him and will naturally cook for him and naturally follows his lead and listens to him and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And all the feminine things short kings look for, she naturally gives to the 6'1" guy.
And also, if my leg is bigger than a guy's, it makes me like uncomfortable. Like I should not
You're a
like
child.
When you're
fit
sitting in the car?
Not even that. It's like if I fit into your joggers, that makes me like a little uncomfortable.
I think depending on his living situation, I would take 6'2" and 45K a year. Again, that height is really
This one is a strong, independent boss babe. She makes her own money, has her own house. She just wants to be dicked down by a 6'2" king with abs. She's all straight looks because she's done all the other manly things a man would provide.
important to me just because I am very tall, and it tends to be, it creates a weird dynamic to have a very strong-willed woman who is also physically
Masculine
bigger
woman.
than you. So 6'2" and 45K.
Okay. So earlier I asked you about the 6'2" and the 5'5", about like taking care of yourself versus not taking care of yourself. So you would care more about the taking care of yourself aspect than the amount of money he's making.
Yes.
Okay, because earlier you chose the short guy who took care of himself, but in this case you're choosing the tall guy who makes less money.
Yes.
Okay.
The first guy.
5'5"?
5'5", yeah.
All right, making more money. You care more about the money than the height?
I just want to be able to have like a fun lifestyle. I know what I can afford and what type of lifestyle I live, so he's got to be able.
See, at least she's honest. She cares. She's straight money. Straight cheese on this one. Height doesn't matter. See, short kings, you have options, but your options are literally modern day prostitutes. Oh, shit, dude. I'm kidding, YouTube.
Be able to keep up with me.
I would go with guy number 1.
5'5" guy? Still taller than you.
Everyone's taller than me, so I'm still gonna be able to wear heels no matter what.
Oh, this is so tough. Because I'm 5'2", so like to me, I'm like, you're both taller than me. You both are making money. I know it's, comes down to personality thing. I won't answer that way, but to me, I think that would definitely sway.
It's hard when you don't know that.
It's hard, right? It's very black and white, and it's very hard, I think, when you don't have other factors, which I'm assuming is the point of this whole thing. It's like when you don't have
the hoops we're jumping through.
Again, I probably guy number 1.
Yeah. It's kind of like, what do you value more? If neither one of the things are really that important to you, it's like, okay, do I want someone who makes more money where my lifestyle could increase a little bit?
Sure.
Or do I want a guy I can look up to a little higher?
Right.
You know?
And to me too, I get almost, and this is a me thing, absolutely, I get intimidated with just like larger men that could be overweight, that could be muscular, that could be tall. For me, I almost feel like a sense of like it's too much.
Okay.
Anyway, she has insecurities. All right, great. Isaac thinks rather too soon, bro, too soon.
So I think from like 5'5" that's like taller than me. I mean, we're like good height for each other. I think that would work out too.
Guy 1 is a 3. That's already next. Pays for everything as a provider and you don't have to work. But he's ugly as shit and so will your babies be in their minds. Okay. Guy 2 who's an 8 and you're the breadwinner. Guy 2, the manly one. The manly one that said she wanted a guy that was 6'1", and he made no. She's gonna pick this guy number 2 already.
Pays for everything, is a provider, and you don't have to work. Or guy number 2 who is an 8, and you are the breadwinner.
Oh, okay, that's really hard. I really like the concept of a man who can provide for me, although
he's a 3.
I'm fine by myself. So even if I had someone who was providing for me, I would still work regardless. It brings me great joy. So I think I'd go with the second guy.
See?
Where I'm the breadwinner.
Okay.
Yeah, this one was easy. She's already looking for a man to take care of. JC, moral of the story, find a shorter girl than you. Exactly.
As long as he is still contributing in some way.
Okay, so if it was like he was
Let me. Translation. He lays pipe really well.
not working at all and you were the only one bringing in money, would that change your answer?
I think so, yes.
Okay. So you would rather have someone that you're less attracted to in that case that could provide, a comfortable lifestyle for you where you're not the only one bringing in income.
Yeah, to have somebody who at least we could share the responsibility between.
Okay.
And so that would fall into the less attracted person. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Guy number 1's a 3? Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, if you're a 3, ideally, we're both contributing, ideally, in my head. And if I one day want to have a family, truly, I don't want to be the stay-at-home one. I want him to be the stay-at-home one. I probably want to keep working. I don't want a man who thinks that because he pays for all this shit, he's owed this and he's owed that. I don't ever want that to come up in an argument that someone's going to use against me. Mm-hmm. So I would, and he's already a 3. Number 2, the second guy.
I would go with guy number 2. I'm totally down with being the breadwinner. I believe in independence, and I don't want to put myself in a position where...
Dude, this is such a stark contrast to Eastern women when we watch the videos and how they talk about what they want out of a man and what they provide a man and the family and all. And to hear this shit is crazy.
Where I am dependent on someone for everything.
What's wrong with being dependent on the man you choose to marry, the man you love, the person you decide to have kids with? Isn't that supposed to be something serious? Your vows till death do us part. Why do you going into a relationship with the mentality of, I don't want to be dependent on a man? It's like, you're sabotaging your relationship. It's going to fail.
Everything. That's not my speed.
Okay, so you would rather be more attracted to the person that you're with and maybe be the one who's bringing in more money versus not be attracted to a guy who's just, providing everything for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Would it be different if the guy who is an 8 is not bringing in anything, like he's not working at all, and you're the only one working, would that change it at all?
I think it would depend on the dynamic, and if we had a conversation where that was the case, let's say I'm the breadwinner and he's at home taking care of the house. I mean, if women are allowed to do that, I think men should be allowed to do that too.
I'm gonna go, I think guy number 2. I'm okay with being the breadwinner.
I'm being tortured here with this video. You guys are killing me.
Okay.
I'm totally okay.
What if he's not working at all? What if you're the only one working?
It depends. Is that a decision we made together because he has other endeavors he's working on? Or if that's the case, then fine. But if he's lazy, then absolutely not.
Okay, so there's like nuance there that changes your answer.
Yeah, there is.
I'd pick the guy number 2, because for me, I personally like to work and I like to be independent and self-sufficient.
Are you a man?
I would not like it if somebody was providing everything for me, because it shows that I'm not able to do it for myself when I'm working.
Dude, always comes from a point of negativity. Always, because it's a competition. When I'm in a relationship for a man, I have to show him just how valuable I am by outworking him out there in the field and bringing back this money. Absolutely nothing feminine a man looks for. Not talking about raising kids, not leaving a lasting legacy with a long extended family, being his peace, cooking him meals, making sure the house is a home. Nothing, bro. Just we're competing against another. I'm not a fucking bum. You don't have to pay for me. Everything. The corporations are smiling looking down on this shit. When they see videos like these, corporations are like, tremendous job we did here, boys. We got these bozos to do the opposite of what they're genetically encoded to do, what they find true lasting happiness in, and we're going to make them spend all their hard-earned money on material possessions to fill the black hole that is their self-esteem.
More than capable of doing it for myself, but I think that balance is really important, Not one person has to be the sole provider.
Okay, would it change if the guy who was an 8 and was the breadwinner, if he was not working at all and you were the only one working?
Not necessarily, because there's a lot of factors that go into that. Again, he could be getting his education or pursuing medical school or law school or engineering or some other high accolade career with a PhD where you can't work, or if he's providing palliative care for somebody or is a long-term caregiver for a sick family member, you also have to take that into consideration too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if he wanted to be a stay-at-home dad?
That would not work because I don't want kids.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh my.
Don't even have to worry about that then.
No.
You see what I mean? Do you see? Do you see? No, hold on.
Provider. I let him provide for me.
Okay. So you care more about the providing versus okay.
Yeah. I don't want to have to be the breadwinner. I don't mind it, but you got to keep up with me. You got to match me.
I'll be the breadwinner. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah.
So you'd rather be more attracted to him?
Yes, I really would. I don't want to rely on anybody. That's my thing. I very much want to contribute as equally as I can, or as much as I can into a relationship.
What if he relied on you? What if you were the breadwinner and he didn't make any money? Would that change your answer?
No, I don't think so. Given the reason, I guess, why he doesn't work. I mean, if we got married and had kids and he wants to stay home with the kids, that's fine.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. But if we're just dating, no kids yet, we're just dating, and you're not working, and it would depend on the reason why you're not working.
Yeah.
For me.
Kind of like the parents thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It would depend on the reason, but I think still, I would rather be the breadwinner.
Next one is guy number 1 who is a 9 and can't satisfy you in the bedroom, or guy number 2 who is a 5 and you have a good sex life.
I'm gonna go with guy number 2 because a tiger can't.
Sex is king. Sex is king. You better be laying pipe.
Change its stripes.
No devil D, no care. That's really what it is. Can't satisfy your woman, doesn't matter what you have.
Stop the cap.
We got to have a good sex life, so guy number 2.
Okay, all right.
If he's a 9 and he can't satisfy me in the bedroom, he's not a 9. To me.
We're just going off looks.
So just look. But there's also that, there are other ways, I think, to, work around problems in the bedroom. You know, you don't have to.
Stop the cap.
He's not good. You can work on it. You can
Stop
bring other
the
things
cap.
into it. I don't know.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, of course.
But okay. Well, you can bring other things into it to
Stop
make
the
it
cap.
more exciting.
Like another man, like cucking your man. He's a 9, but you're going to bring someone who can lay the D down if he can't? What?
Stop the
So
cap.
I honestly. What was the rating for the second? What was the number for the second?
5.
5. Okay. But a great sex life. I really do think. I think I would go with a 9, just because we could work on it. We could work on the sex life, I think.
Would your answer change if like you couldn't work on it? Like if he was just like chronically bad?
Yes, if he was chronically bad and there was like no.
But if you're thinking like, okay, with some communication, things could get better, then you would go with the 9.
Yeah, like we explore each other's like likes, we try different things.
Yeah.
And if that didn't work, I would go with guy number 2.
I think most problems in the bedroom though stem from poor communication.
I agree with that. I definitely agree because I think it's like I just want to be open and be like, hey, I like when you do this.
Yeah.
Or same with me, tell me what you like so then I can do it.
Right.
And that immediately increases. So that would even mean, if there's no communication about what's in the bedroom, there's probably no communication in the relationship in general.
Right. Right. So then it already sucks.
Yes. So I think I would go with guy number 2 then.
5 and great sex life.
Okay.
5.
5. Okay.
Immediate 5. Well, because I'm wondering, he's a 9 and he can't satisfy me in the bedroom?
Yeah, so you know it must be bad.
Like, what the hell is he doing that makes... I'm moving too much. What the hell is he doing that's making him a 9?
Just looks, I guess.
His looks? He looks so good, but he can't follow through?
I guess so.
I like a 5 who's good in the bedroom because that's my little secret. Everyone else can look at him and be like, he's a 5, why are you with him? I'm gonna be like, you'd like to know, wouldn't you? 5.
Someone on the chat wrote he's 9, but he's gay would work on that girl.
Number 2. Sorry. Guy number 2.
I feel like with that side of things, the only reason you're not satisfying somebody is because you're not listening to how they respond to things. So I feel like there's room for growth with the other guy, unless he just is a blatant asshole and doesn't want to listen to what you have to say with feedback. So I would probably choose, the guy that doesn't satisfy me because that means that there's room for growth. If somebody knows everything about you right off the bat, that's unattractive to me because there's no room for growth for you to both learn each other and move forward with your relationship as a unit, versus like somebody knowing everything about me.
Okay, so you're saying the 9 could have room for growth maybe, but what if he couldn't? What if chronically bad in the bed and he could never satisfy you? Would you choose the 5 then?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guy number 1 who is a 4 and has a lot of friends, prioritizes his social life, or guy number 2 who is an 8 and is antisocial and doesn't like to go out and meet new people.
If he's an 8 and antisocial, that means I get to keep him and he's piping me down and that's it.
Guy number 1, and my reason for that is I'm very outgoing, and I really think that I need someone that can match that. Some people need an opposite, I need an alike.
Okay. Would it change if the 8 was just like a little bit of an introvert, maybe he had a couple friends but just didn't like to go out? Would you still choose guy number 1?
Not necessarily. If they weren't, I think I'm making an assumption that guy number 2 is, I don't want to use the word a hermit. I don't think that's a great word to use, but I'm going to use it because it's what came to my mind. But if he was just a little more on the shy side and didn't love to go out, but, would go out with me and my friends and family, on occasion, then I think that would change my answer.
That's hard because I could go both ways with that.
This is what you come home to if you marry this. Just that face, seething anger looking at you as she takes care of you, earns her own money, and doesn't want kids, and gets more and more wrinkles and hates you day by day, sucking the life force out of you. Yeah, all right. Or you just go get a passport and meet a woman in her full feminine energy that's happy, vibrant, teeming with life. I don't know. Seems like a no-brainer. Got here, op gamer. I'm going to make things as confusing as possible. That's like saying he's a 10, but he has an IQ of 2, or an all-star athlete who isn't good looking at all. She's out of her mind, yeah.
You don't want somebody who's a total people pleaser, but you also don't want somebody who's like extremely antisocial because I'm a very social, outgoing person. I like to go out. I like to socialize. There's introverted intelligence and there's extroverted intelligence. You want somebody who's a little introverted, but they're able to socialize introverted where they're not oversharing about themselves. So I'd probably pick the guy who is antisocial because you can get him out of his shell,
First guy.
I think 4, okay.
Yeah, I think there's a really important thing about being able to interact with other individuals in society. It's something that a lot of us struggle with, including myself sometimes. So I find it very, very attractive. And so that would skew the scale for me if somebody was very sociable.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Socialize is code for lifestyle. Nailed it.
So would the fact that he's a 4 but has a lot of friends and is like very social, would that bump him up in score to you, like make him more attractive?
Yes, absolutely.
So say the scenario is a little bit different. Say the 8 has a couple of friends, but maybe he's more introverted. Does that change your answer? Or is that social life, going out aspect still really important to you?
I think if he had a couple friends, so if you have like a core friend group, that is perfect as well. As long as you're going out and doing things that bring you great joy, then I would pick the higher rated guy.
Would the second guy be like totally unwilling?
So I was going to ask you, would it be different if he was like antisocial, didn't like to go out at all, or just a guy who was more of an introvert and had like a couple close friends? Like, would that change it?
Yes. Okay, so if he's an introvert and has a couple of close friends, I love people with good friends. I feel like I am one of those people. I am very outgoing. In my opinion, I think I'm very outgoing and bubbly, but I do have like just a solid group of friends that I'm like, these are my people.
Yeah.
So I would appreciate.
Josh, why do they always think they can fix these guys? Because project men are attractive to them. It's called taming, and taming a wild man is in all of their dreams.
If he was more of an introvert rather than just like totally antisocial, like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to go out, there has to be a give and take with me. So if he was completely unwilling and like, nope, all I want to do is sit on the couch and not go out, that's a no for me. But if he was more introverted, but he'd be like okay or like comfortable with me to go out in social situations, then I would pick the last guy. So I guess in this scenario, what would he be, I guess? Would he be like completely just totally no? Like, I don't want to talk to anybody?
Let's see, antisocial. Antisocial, yeah. So I guess that's not very like willing to.
Not very willing to talk. Okay, then I would go with the first guy.
The first guy is
social
okay.
and
But if it was just more introverted versus antisocial, I think there is a difference.
There is a difference, yeah, because introverted doesn't necessarily mean like you don't want to talk to people.
Yeah, like I'm an introvert, but I talk to people all day.
Yeah,
so,
right. So yes, answer would change if he was an introvert. But if he's not an introvert and just simply antisocial, no, I would go with the more social guy.
4.
4.
Antisocial and doesn't like to go out and meet new people is terrifying to me.
Okay.
It's terrifying. It's a safety risk. And also, I am a huge extrovert. I meet a lot of people. I meet so many people just doing what I do that I forget names and I have to constantly relearn names. So, like, if you are not able to keep up with me in those settings, we're never going to work.
So if he was just like say he wasn't necessarily antisocial
Sure.
and just had like a couple of close friends and he was an introvert, would your answer still be the same?
Yeah,
Just
my answer would still be the same.
You are so extroverted.
Yes, I'm so extrovert. I appreciate a good introvert. I think I love having introverted friends to kind of balance me out. But someone that I date, that I'm with, they're never going to keep up with me and who I am if they're too... What was the rating of the first guy?
A 4.
He's a 4, and he has really... like he's
And doesn't have core.
All right, that one sucks. Would you rather choose guy 1 who is a professional athlete and doesn't have core values, morals, or life goals that align with yours? Or guy 2 who's an electrician and has core values, morals, and life goals?
Values, morals, or life goals that align with yours, like religion, money, politics, fidelity in the relationship. Or guy number 2 who is an electrician and has core values, morals, and life goals that align with yours.
We're going to go with guy number 2.
Guy number 2? Okay. So you care more about those core values aligning.
Yes.
number 2.
Yeah.
So easy. Again, I have some opinions, and I need a man with opinions who gets it. I can't be like getting all passionate and all up on my soapbox for a guy to just be like, oh, but none of that matters. Like, of course it matters. Everything matters to me. So many things matter.
Okay, so you want to be aligned on those kind of things.
Yes, I want to be aligned or at least like challenged or like, oh, what's the word?
Like mentally stimulated?
Yes, I was going to say stimulated. Intellectually stimulated for sure. I can't be with someone who's just like, every day is fun and nothing matters.
Got it.
Guy number 2. And I know that's going to be a controversial, but at the end of the day, I think guy number 1 could be fun for a while, but nothing long term.
Right. And that's because, your relationship is based upon those core values and morals. And is that really great for long term? No.
Right.
Number 2. Yeah, there's no question. Core values are, because I didn't mention this earlier, but I am
No, not having fun. Archives, no.
very much like, I do want to start a family and get married one day. And starting a family with me entails obviously raising children. And if we're raising kids and our values
What are you talking about? This is the one that says she wants her man to be a stay-at-home man.
don't align, then our kids, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for me. So yeah, number 2.
I would never date a pro athlete because I know they have a girlfriend in every city. So I would definitely
How do you know that? How do you know that?
choose the electrician. For me, the job title doesn't really matter. It's, what you're doing with your life and how you treat other people. Those sort of things are more important to me.
Okay, so aligning with him on other things is more important than what he does for a living or how much money he makes.
Absolutely, because if you have no core values, if you don't have the same morals as somebody, it's never going to work.
And one of the earlier questions, you chose the lawyer because you thought that you'd have more in common. You're not giving that same vibe for the professional athlete. What's the difference there?
I feel like it's because with the professional athlete, it's not necessarily their career. It's like more so what they're doing with it. Like if you're constantly in the public eye, if you're constantly being scrutinized by people and, you have this image you have to uphold, it's really hard to be in a relationship with somebody like that because they're sought out by so many people that it's impossible for them to be exclusive. I mean, like you hear all the time about those people that cheat on their spouses and then they end up divorced. I don't want to deal with that. It's not saying that like, job type, yes, like I did earlier say I chose a lawyer because I felt like I would have more in common with them just because of my education. But morally, that's what's important when you're going to choose somebody. Like if I was given like the option between like somebody that's got the same morals as me and somebody who's like extremely educated like a lawyer, I would definitely pick the person that's got the morals because that's what matters,
Scrutinized.
At the end of the day, do you align with religion? Do you align with family values? Do you align with how you treat people and how you treat each other?
Electrician that has things that align with mine.
Scrutinized.
And I do want to point out, because I think this is really, really important, we don't have to align on everything. I think that having things that you disagree on kind of opens you up to the world a bit more. So for me, that's good, but core things like morals, very, very important.
And then what about things like religion and politics?
I'm done. That's it. You've tortured me enough.